in that game. I just wonder if you could sort of talk us through your initial reactions and how you feel about the team's performance.
Majority of the game, I agree completely with. It was a really good game. I don't think it's easy to dominate Leicester in the way we dominated them today. Play the kind of football we played today after losing a few days ago a game with a kind of strange scoreline. But the boys did that. We scored our first goal, great goal. Oh, the only goal actually, great goal. Concede a strange one. And so like with the, I think it's offside, to be honest. And the 2-1 is a misunderstanding. So then the 2-1 had too big an impact on the game because I think it was still 15, round about maybe 12, 30 minutes to go, maybe with extra time longer. So, and we have to show a different reaction then. But the third is then we give easy or simple away, and then game over.
Gary Cottrell for 2, and then we'll go to Rob Draper. Gary. You need to unmute Gary if you can.
Sorry about that, Jurgen. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
These are tough times in terms of results and your current position in the table. Do you now need to use all your resolve and experience as champions to try and fight back to retain the title?
Sorry, didn't understand the last part of the question.
Do you need to use all your experience now as players and coaching staff to start fighting back to retain the title?
To retain the title.
It's looking tough now. It's getting obviously another defeat. The gap is getting more difficult to bridge. Do you need all the confidence that you've got as a squad and all the experience that you have of winning a title now to close that gap?
I don't think we can close that gap this year, to be honest. We have to win football games, and big parts of our football was today again really good. We have to do it more consistently. We have to avoid mistakes. We have to avoid misunderstanding. We cannot avoid mistakes of VAR or stuff like this, but all the rest, which is in our hands, we have to avoid. And today, in 2 situations, we didn't do that. That's why they could score 2 goals. The rest of the football game is really good. And yes, if you win football games, maybe you could score today more goals. But that's the steps you have to make. First, you have to perform again. The result is always massively related to the performance. And we were today good enough to win the game, long period in the game, but not until the end because of a couple of things. And that's what we have to we should have not. So like the misunderstanding we had is before the game, we all knew Ozan is a really good player. So, and after the game, we know that as well. But what we knew before the game, he's not really used to all the things we usually do. And when you play with Ali, then you know that he is quite offensive-minded and comes out of his goal. So in this situation, yeah, it was a misunderstanding that can happen when you are new together. Usually these things happen in the pre-season. We don't have that, so that's why it happened. That was the second goal. The first goal is a strange situation, which I think should have been, should have been offside. Yeah, and the rest. So I'm not sure. I forgot maybe the question again. It's so we are not luring or whatever for the title. We are not silly. We have on Tuesday a tough game, then on Saturday I think again against the Derby. So these are the things we are thinking about. And yeah, if we want to have still a good season in the end, we have to win these games.
So are you conceding the title then, Jurgen?
Yes, I can't believe, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, Rob Draper and then John Murray, and we'll finish with Liam. Rob.
Jurgen, the mistakes we're seeing aren't very normal for your side, but is it inevitable in this season when there's so many injuries and you're having to change, obviously, the defenders so much that you do see these misunderstandings?
Look, we are not going for excuses. We are looking for excuses. A lot of things happened and stuff like this. That's all fine. In some moments we could and should have done better. In some, it was just what happened. All these kind of things. Look, but we spoke about that already. In a moment, it's tough. Obviously, it's tough, and I know that it's that the only way out of the situation is to play good football, to fight, to work hard on these kind of things, and we are still able to do that, and that's what we will keep doing. That we have to do that, and then we will get the results, and we will see where we end up. But the situation is not easy. That's clear, but it's our situation, and how it always is with your situation, you have to sort it yourself, and that's what we will do.
John Murray and Liam Kenny to finish. John first.
Jurgen, is there an issue there with the players not reacting well to a VAR decision going against them, or is that reading too much into it?
Yeah, it's reading too much into it. If you saw the situation back, everybody on the pitch, next to the pitch, even after watching the situation back, I was sure it was offside. Now, accepting something like this just with a smile and say, oh yes, okay, might have been a mistake, it's not easier. So in our situation, for sure not. So we worked really hard for being 1-0 up, and then it's gone with a really tough decision, and especially for Ali, tough decision, because he had 3 players in front of him and was 100% sure it's offside. No. That's not a problem. So how I said, the 2-1 had nothing to do with it. The 2-1 can happen, and nothing to do with the game. But when we conceded the 2-1 and the manner we conceded it in, that was a knock. And the reaction for that I didn't like. The reaction after the equalizer, I don't know exactly, because it was too quick and we conceded the second one. But that was only just a long ball kicking up front, and then we make it dangerous ourselves.
Final question, guys. Liam.
Hi, Jurgen. Just you kind of touched on it there, but in terms of the game, have you ever known a game to change that quickly from the first and second goal going in? Because it seemed to be a complete turnaround very, very quickly.
Have you known a game to swing so quickly in terms of the momentum of the game and control?
Oh, it's not. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen, and we had it the other way around as well. We can change a game in that situation. How is that? It's the 2 goals we conceded had obviously a massive impact, and that for human beings is normal, but for us we don't accept that. We have to react differently. But that's it. But when you concede that goal, and then the next situation is an easy one, and with the first goal Leicester scored, obviously they had like a mood lift, because until then Leicester was not in the game. Really, they couldn't play their game for a second, and then they get this pressing, and then we make another pressing, and then they're 2-1 up, and the third one then is just that's what I say. That's what I don't like. But no, it didn't happen. It doesn't happen a lot, so I didn't experience a lot, but it can happen and happened before.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Take care.